are spinning.
I am Ronald Perryman.
Truth isn't truth.
Welcome, my fellow patriots, and yes, you other lost souls too, who have yet to fully commit to the cause. Our effort to make America great again. It can be done, my friends. Progress is not inevitable. It can be stopped, as it is not written in stone that we must always move forward. If we all truly join together, we can reverse course and bring back the good old days. Though we have lost our way under the temporary rule of the woke liberals, we can right the ship if you will just follow the directions of our true commander-in-chief, Donald Trump. His presidency may be officially on pause, but he continues to lead us via his Truth Social site, a state-of-the-art platform that I visit multiple times during my day. And now let me introduce another fellow patriot, Gerald Holcolmb. Gerald?
Thank you, Ronald. I am Gerald Holcolmb, your voice for liberty and freedom.
Freedom!
I know I, too, am counting the days until our rightful leader, Donald Trump, moves back into the White House. Yes, his place at Mar-a-Lago is amazing, but he belongs in the people's house, And if it wasn't for that deep state, he would still be there right now. And speaking of the deep state, Ronald, have you noticed that the mainstream media is now trying to push the tall tale that Republicans are not as popular as they once were, that the coming red wave in the midterms is now an illusion because of that Roe versus Wade deal? Well, I will tell you what, when it comes right down to it, when women enter the voting booth, I know they will choose each and every candidate with an R next to their name. Why? Because parents don't want the libs forcing our young children to attend drag shows in elementary school. Am I right or am I right, Ronald? Okay, Spud, you are up.
Okay, I am Spud Goodman.
Spud, man.
Ronald, do you know that Truth Social platform of Trump's is failing miserably? It's on life supports. All of his so-called business ventures have failed, except for that apprentice show of his, which NBC ran.
You're fired.
Gerald, and I hate to shatter your MAGA fantasies, but as I've told you previously, that drag show culture war line of crap scares no one. Okay, I might get your side a couple votes and say Utah. Right-wing media needs to stop making up dumb stuff to freak people out. Anyone with a brain knows that Democrats are not going to blow up Branson, Missouri with a really big Molotov cocktail just to prove climate change was real. But when I read that story on Facebook, even though I knew it was bogus, I still had to grab my Ichiro Comfort bobblehead to get me through the moment. Your team needs to dial it back a bit. Who wants to be force-fed a Purge movie on cable news 24/7? It's not much fun. Conservatives need to change the channel from Fox and Newsmax to Bravo or Nickelodeon occasionally. Maybe even a lame rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. Just, anyway, what's the first topic?
Spinning. Heads are spinning.
This one is from me, and the answer is yes. As Donald Trump said, if they can come for a former president, they will come for us too. So we need to prepare for the FBI team knocking on our doors in the middle of the night to search our basements, our closets, our home offices. In my safe, I keep my wife's Mary Kay sales records. Are they in danger of being confiscated? Yes, they are. So I am in the process of shredding all of our paperwork and correspondence stored up over the last 15 years, deleting all content of the hard drive of my computer 3 times a day. And of course, now my wife and I only use burner phones, as our old ones and SIM cards have all been destroyed.
Oh, I had not thought of getting one of those burner phones, Ronald. Thank you for that tip. I know my wife and I now only communicate via Post-it notes, which are burned each night. No more texting for us, that's for sure.
No one is going to raid the homes of 2 middle-aged white guys, unless you two have illegally stored hundreds of top-secret documents somewhere in your house. And if so, then I would make sure you both don't sleep in the nude, because it might be a bit embarrassing, as those stormtroopers will be wearing body cams, and unless your junk is praiseworthy, that kind of footage always gets leaked.
Spud, please don't make light of this enormous threat to our privacy and personal property. In Donald Trump's case, the material the FBI took was all his own property. As president, he can take what he wants when he leaves office, and in his case, temporarily. All the man wanted to do was open his own mini MAGA presidential library at Mar-a-Lago. so the members there and the visitors for weddings and other gatherings could get an up-close and personal look at what top secrets look like. You know, most of us have no idea what a top secret is, so it would be a great service for many.
You know, what a great idea he came up with. A presidential mini mega library at Mar-a-Lago. And what's all the fuss about those highly classified secrets he had there? I mean, who can we trust more than Donald Trump to keep our country's most dangerous secrets safe? I'm sure he would white out anything on those papers that could be problematic. He's no dummy.
Dummy is the kindest word you could use. His Trump University made DeVry University look like Yale or Harvard.
So, Spud, are you telling me that you're not concerned the FBI or another agency of the deep state will be visiting your house sometime soon? I don't believe you.
Ronald, Spud is a very naive guy. He still thinks Barack Obama was actually born in Hawaii. We discussed that topic so many times on our radio show, and no matter what evidence I gave him, he would not change his mind.
Because it was BS. I'm not concerned at all, by the way, about an early morning raid. I sleep like a baby at night, except for, I have to get up about every 90 minutes to pee. Anyway, what's the next topic?
Spinning, spinning. Heads are spinning.
I don't understand this topic, Spud. Are you questioning the fact that the highly talented Greg Gutfeld is not the new king of late-night TV? His Fox News show is killing those leftists like Colbert and Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon in the ratings.
You know, my wife and I are in bed by 8:30 most nights, but we do tape Greg Gutfeld's show on our VCR on the weekends. We'll watch all the episodes in one sitting, and our tummies will ache from laughing so hard.
You laugh at anti-immigration rants, at crime statistic commentary, at those lame stories about CRT and the schools corrupting our youth? This guy's not a comedian or entertainer. He does the same exact shtick on the other Fox News shows he's on. Yeah, he does have the highest ratings in his time slot on the East Coast, but at 11 to 12 a.m., he's only up against the other late night shows for a half hour, and they're comedy/talk shows. Gutfeld is a panel show with the same tired crew that pounds the same tired material night after night on the channel. Yeah, there's an audience for this garbage. 74 million potential viewers have to watch something, but you can't compare his show to the other programs hosted by late-night comedians. Gutfeld is not a comedian and definitely is not funny, so it's not just apples to oranges. It's more comparing a commercial airliner to an e-scooter.
Well, I think Greg Gutfeld is very funny. He cracks me up all the time.
I totally agree, Ronald. We are so lucky to have Fox News and Greg Gutfeld in our lives. Where would we be without them?
I don't know, maybe a country that is not on the verge of a very spirited food fight without the food?
Nonsense. Fox News is not responsible to play the role of peacemaker in this country. They are a business, not a nonprofit agency. You know, Greg Gutfeld reminds me of a thinking man's Larry the Cable Guy.
Hey, this is Larry the Cable Guy, and you're listening to the Spud Show. Anyway, I think you are. You're not. You're a communist.
I'd take Larry the Cable Guy over him any day. Larry was on our show once, our radio show, and I don't think he liked me much as he called me a communist, but he seemed a lot nicer than that angry, bitter little man, Greg Gutfeld.
You know, Spud, you really can't tell others what is funny and what's not. That's very subjective. Take our radio show, for instance. The truth be told, I've never found it funny myself, but some people do, as it's still on the air. So keep that in mind when you cast judgment on Greg Gutfeld.
His talent, if you want to describe it as such, would be his ability to keep the jabs at the libs coming nonstop. And when he gets tired, he has some obscure, boring panel member wade in to give him a chance to catch his breath before delivering yet one more flat zinger about Hunter Biden's laptop. And they all laugh at their own jokes. It's disgusting. I'm done with this topic. Let's just end the episode, please.
All right, then. Let's move on to It's a Wrap.
Spinning, spinning. Heads are spinning.
Before we go, I would like to challenge the misinformed liberals of this country now watching this show. Wake up! It's not too late. Open your eyes and seek out the real truth. Commit right now to begin doing your own research. Don't rely on others. Well, you can rely on me if you don't have sufficient time in your busy day to do your own research. My podcast, From the Mind of Ronald Perryman, is available everywhere and should give you all the information you will need to be a true patriot. Yes, your former liberal friends and family members, they will shun you. Pretend you don't exist. But take it from me, you get used to being loathed by others. It's not an unbearable cross to bear. I myself have grown fond of the vitriol sent my way by those now in the rear view mirror of my life. Screw them, I say. So I'll sign off now. I am Ronald Perryman.
Truth isn't truth.
Until we meet again, goodbye. Gerald?
I so agree, Ronald. Being disliked by others for simply being a MAGA member is not fun, but you get used to it after a while. I mean, I've spent years on the Spud Goodman radio show being the object of ridicule and derision for my support of the greatest president in our country's history.
Zachary Taylor?
Who? No, I'm referring to former presidents of the United States, Spud, and Donald Trump is at the top of any list by respected historians. Since leaving office temporarily, his first 4-year term has been reevaluated, and he is now number 1, the best commander-in-chief of all time. Yes, some still unfairly hold him in contempt, but most God-fearing Americans know, in fact, he was sent to us by God himself, and as you know, it's pretty difficult to second-guess God. Almost impossible. So on that note, I too will sign off now. My name is Gerald Holcolmb, your voice for liberty and freedom.
Freedom!
Would you mind forwarding the credentials of those respected historians you mentioned? I gotta believe most of them have been sniffing way too much glue. They only list Trump tops as biggest asshole in U.S. history. Yes, even bigger than Harvey Weinstein or Brett Favre. I myself have never been into worshiping false idols like Orange Jesus, as they all turn out to be less than stellar individuals. Someday you Trumpies will see the light. I mean, hopefully it's going to happen. Until then, I'm just going to keep doing my own thing. You know, what doesn't kill me makes me I'm still able to do stuff. Okay then, I am Spud Goodman. Be all that you can be, and I mean that.
Bye-bye.
God bless and ciao.
Heads are spinning.